I'm Nancy Birtwhistle, and I am thrilled to be able to talk to you about my latest book, The Green and Easy Kitchen. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining really what this book is about, how not only are we cooking from scratch, we're also avoiding food waste, making best use of leftovers, making your supermarket shop go further, and showing you how to look after that food once you've bought it. First of all, I'm going to talk to you about what you can do with leftover bread, or stale bread as we used to call it. We're throwing away hundreds and thousands of tons of bread, and we can make breadcrumbs. And if, like me, you think, yeah, I can make breadcrumbs, blitz them up in the machine, pop them in a bag in the freezer, use them to thicken soups and stews, that sort of thing. The trouble is, if you put them in the freezer, you tend to forget about them. I want something finer. I want those golden breadcrumbs that you see in the supermarket for coating fish fingers and fish cakes and that sort of thing. So we can make shelf-stable breadcrumbs that we know exactly what's gone into them. And they're free. Another great use, of course, for leftover or stale bread is bread and butter pudding. Recipes in there, and I've included a gluten-free loaf as well. So we've got a gluten-free bread and butter pudding as well, because I couldn't help notice that gluten-free bread in the supermarket, as well as being ultra-processed, can be 3 times the price of a standard loaf. And the sell-by date, something like 2 months in advance. This recipe is super easy, tasty and gorgeous. When we talk about leftover fruit and veg, you know, I find myself, after making my shepherd's pie, I've got this little knobble of celery left, and I've got a little end of a carrot. I can't throw it away. I would put that in a box or a bag in the freezer, and that would add to my little bag of stock ingredients. Then when I come to want to make a fresh stock, or my stock cubes, I'll bring this lot out and use it. When it comes to leftover fruits, this is just simple orange peel. I wash all the fruit and veg when I get it home, by the way. But this peel, an orange I had earlier on, I can easily dry this, just dry it in the room in front of the fire, a warm room overnight. And once it's dry and you can crack it, then blitz it. And what you've got is this gorgeous citrus crumb. I just dip my nose in it. This gorgeous citrus crumb that I then use. I add it to my muesli recipe, again in the book. I add it to granola. I sprinkle it over the ice cream in the book. Just so many uses, and it's free. I've got so many other ways that you can use your fruit and veg in this book. I've got veggie curry. Oh, I've got a good one. If you grow your own food, if you grow courgettes, they're probably one of the easiest things to grow. You know, you come back from holiday and you've got this monster of a courgette. Yeah, I'm sure they grow quicker when you're away than when you're at home. But anyway, I've got a courgette cannelloni recipe in there that will make excellent use of that oversized courgette. We've got courgette cupcakes. We've got strawberry top vinegar. Now, this is a great one. Once we're into strawberry season, rather than throw away those little green tops, all we do is, after washing our strawberries, take the top off, pop them in vinegar, and you have a gorgeous red flavoured strawberry vinegar plus a dressing to use. You can put it on your strawberries, you can use it on sweets, or you can use it on your salads. Perfect. Another thing I want to talk to you about is wise shopping and making use of leftovers. Now, I have included meat dishes in here, but you know how maybe you've got a little bit of meat left in the fridge, or you've got meat but you've not got enough left to feed the whole family. I'll show you how you can make potted meat, extending the shelf life of that cooked meat for weeks rather than days. We're using leftover meat again in the universal shepherd's pie, but we can also do it veggie, we can also do it vegan. And it's really about shopping wisely. None of the cuts of meat or fish in this book are expensive. They're all less finer cuts of meat, I would say, that cooked properly are packed with flavour, more flavour than the top cuts, in my opinion. I've called this book My Green and Easy Kitchen But, you know, I want everybody to be able to get something out of it. So whether if you're still eating meat, I still eat meat, but I don't eat as much of it. I'm eating much more fresh fruit and veg, lots of veggie recipes, lots of making good use of things that inevitably get left over. Let me give you an example, egg whites. I freeze egg whites and then you think, what am I going to do with them? Meringue, I don't want any more meringue. We have cake recipes, we have marshmallows, all sorts of different types of recipe using up those inevitable leftovers. Now, I know what it's like, this busy modern life when we're working full time, you're coming from work, you're cold, you're hungry, the kids are hungry, they're pulling at you and screaming, and you're thinking, how am I supposed to put together a meal from scratch now? But what I'm saying is a little bit of planning. I think I've given you the tools to be able to think to yourself, I know I don't need to pull that ready meal off the supermarket shelf. Instead, I can go to my freezer and I can pull a meal ready to pop in the oven, or I've got one chilled ready in the fridge, ready to go in the oven. It's about planning, using up what you've got. It's surprising how you can put a meal together with just a few bits that you've already got. You know, I'm not afraid of using tinned fish in my fish cakes. I've got some leftover mash, the recipe's in here. I've also included various appliances. So if you've got an air fryer, if you've got a microwave, if you're using the conventional oven, if you want to cook on the hob, there are some appliance switches in here to make it easier and more adaptable for your kitchen. I think you can do this.